depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to have a good old look at a new promo pack, which has gone and been revealed over in Japan, and I'm a little bit excited about this, and quite frankly, I think maybe you should be a little bit excited about this. And it is a usual kind of promo pack. We've got ourselves a Pokemon EX, we've got ourselves a trainer card, we've got ourselves another interesting card, and a couple of reprints as well. But let's start off, first of all, having a little bit of a look at Klawf EX. And I'm a little bit excited about this, ladies and gentlemen. I am a little bit excited about this. This is one of the ones, it's one of the Titans in the game. You kind of assume that all the Titans at some point are going to get a Pokemon EX because, this is a Scarlet and Violet block at the end of the day, and they are pretty central to the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet set, but still, it's lovely this is coming. Now, we did actually have a Klawf. It was in Pokemon Scarlet, I'll be honest with you. We didn't look at it before because, 130 HP, 2 energy 50, 3 energy 130, and this Pokemon is confused? Nah. Love the artwork, don't love the card. Klawf EX, however, I can get a little bit behind this. 220 HP is quite nice, although seems fairly standard for a Pokemon EX, a basic. Maybe it's slightly on the high end, not much. And we've got an ability that reads, when this Pokemon takes damage from an attack of one of your opponent's Pokemon, choose one energy attached to that Pokemon and discard it. Translations from me and checked with the lovely Antoine Boulet. And you know what? Yeah. You've got to give up an energy to attack Klawf. Now, as it is 220 HP, I think it's fair to say is not particularly great. But we have ways to manipulate this. Now, it's a little bit sad that Stone Fighting Energy is going away, because this is the kind of thing that with Stone Fighting Energy would be pretty awesome, honestly. I would love this with Stone Fighting Energy. Get yourself that little bit of extra bulk. Kind of irrelevant. But we've got all kinds of ways to reduce damage. Use things like Radiant Gardevoir to reduce the amount of damage you're taking and give yourself tools to give yourself more HP. You'll be fine. It's not the end of the world. We've also got an attack here, and the attack isn't amazing, but it's not terrible. 3 energy, 100 damage, flip a coin, if heads, 80 more. Crucially, this is fighting double colourless, not 2 fighting 1 colourless or 3 fighting. It does mean that any deck with a little bit of energy acceleration will be able to take advantage of this, and I kind of love that. That's kind of awesome. It's not stunning, and I think that's fair to say. It is a decent card, and I'm giving this a nice solid 3 Wassies. I don't think this is a stunning card, and I'm not going to pretend for a second that it is. But I do think it's an interesting card, and you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That seems alright by me. I think we can live with that. Now, I did tell you there was going to be a new supporter card as well. There is a new supporter card as well. We have got ourselves Brassius, I believe, the first gym leader that was actually revealed from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Grass Gym Leader. What does this Grass Gym Leader do, I hear you ask? Well, what we've got here is count how many other cards you have in hand, shuffle your hand into your deck, and then draw that many cards plus 1. But obviously you're discarding Brassius, and then you're getting the amount of cards you shuffle in plus 1, which really just replaces a Brassius. So if you've got 6 cards in your hand before you play Brassius, you're going to end up with a new 6-card hand. And to be perfectly honest with you, this is the kind of card where it really kind of depends what deck you're playing here, I think is fair to say. There are going to be plenty of decks that just aren't going to love this. But decks that generally play with a fairly large hand, this is going to be alright. Like, let's say for argument's sake, I use something like a Bibarel. Because, if you want to win the World Championship, play Bibarel. We all know that by now. I use Bibarel, draw until I've got 5 cards in hand. I don't have the one I want. This will just give me a second chance of drawing a new 5-card hand. And maybe I'll get the one I want, and maybe I won't. And that's okay, ladies and gentlemen, but it gives me another shot at doing so. The thing is, if you've got fewer than 6 cards in hand, you're better off just playing Shauna. Or Youngster as it is. Remember, Youngster is just a reprint of this. So we're going to have both of them in the format, incidentally, moving forward. When the rotation hits, we are going to have both of them. So my thing here is, you've basically got to have more than 5 cards in hand to really make this worth it. And that doesn't mean you're never going to use it. But like I say, it really depends how many cards you're likely to have in hand. It depends what kind of deck you're playing. This is an extremely useful supporter, but only for some kind of decks. You have been warned. I don't know, give it another 3 Wassies, why not? Now, there's a new Houndstone. I don't really like Houndstone. I love the Houndstone that I showed you guys the other day. It is a phenomenal card. It's one of my favorite. It might be my favorite card in the Scarlet and Violet set. 2 Psychic Energy, 80 damage, plus 10 more damage for each Psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. But we've also got Graveyard, which also has a special art rare, incidentally, lovely so-so artwork, which just does 10 damage for each Psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. And then obviously this is a boosted version of that for an extra energy. It's all good. It is a deck I really, really want to have a play around with, and I'm very excited about. Which means I don't want to play another Houndstone. I want to play that Houndstone. So if I'm going to be playing this Houndstone, there needs to be a pretty gosh darn good reason. There isn't really. 3 energy, 100 damage, no. 2 energy, search your discard pile for 2 item cards and put them into your hand. No. Sorry. You do have to show it to your opponent first, obviously, to make sure they are item cards. They're not good enough. Like, if you give this to me on a basic Pokemon, oh, it's literally Junk Hunt Sableye. Yes. That I can get behind, ladies and gentlemen. That I can get behind. But you give this to me on a stage 1 Pokemon for 2 energy, not doing it. Sorry, I'm just not doing it. I don't want to be rude. Not doing it. Not happening. And that's kind of the problem here. This, on a basic Pokemon for a single energy, oh my goodness, yes. But this isn't on a basic Pokemon for a single energy. This is on a stage 1 Pokemon for 2 energy. And I think at this stage, we know that we're not getting Junk Hunt Sableye back. Because they keep giving us rubbish versions of Junk Hunt Sableye. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, as cool as this would be, this is not even close to Junk Hunt Sableye. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of those like, hey, remember that really good card we had in the past? Well, how about that, but an extra evolution and an extra energy? And the answer is, how about no, Scott? How about no? Now, the good news is we've got a new Smoliv coming in as well. Who doesn't love a bit of the old Smoliv? Yeah, it's just a reprint. A lot of these end up being, and we do see these in the, when we get these promo packs, you get a few new cards, and then you get yourself a bunch of reprints, and that is exactly what's happened here. It is an alternate art reprint of the 60 HP Smoliv from Scarlet and Violet. Remember, there is a 50 HP Smoliv. Single energy, you can heal 30 damage from one of your Pokemon. It doesn't have to be from itself. I will say it's the best Smoliv artwork we've had so far. So you know what? There's something, ladies and gentlemen. Is it good enough? No. But you never know. If this evolution line has a good card in the future that you want to play, you're going to need a basic. Maybe it can be this one. Now, we got ourselves a Growlithe coming in here. And it is just a reprint of the Growlithe from Pokemon Violet. It's not particularly great, honestly. I like the 90 HP. We've also got single fire energy. And you get to choose up to 2 energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon from your deck. Yeah. And then you probably get KO'd, honestly. So, I don't know how into that I can be, but hey, Growlithe getting an alternate art, and that's kind of lovely. And I've always been a bit weirded out. I don't know why. This Growlithe from Scarlet and Violet, it just gives me proper Alola vibes, and I don't know why. The artwork gives me Alola vibes. At least this new artwork doesn't. So there's that. But that is I think, the best we can do right now. Now, we also have an alternate art Flaffy here. Do remember, we've also got like a really, really, really good Flaffy, which is definitely going to be the one you use. Let's be clear. We've got a Flaffy that can accelerate energy, so doesn't matter how good this one is, it's not going to be as good as that one. This is actually... I'm just having a look here. I believe this is actually a new Flaffy. I'm having a look at all the Flaffy we've had in the past couple of years, and there's nothing else quite like this. That means I have to actually translate the second attack now, doesn't it? So we've got single energy, 30 damage, and then we've got free energy, 80 damage. Oh, and just discard an energy from this Pokemon. That's not good. Who wants that? Yeah, seriously, play the Flaffy from Evolving Skies. I mean, firstly... it's got Okacheke artwork, which is cool, but also it's got the really nice ability. Definitely play that Flaffy. Don't play this Flaffy. And we've got ourselves a Varoom coming in here as well. This is another alternate artwork, and this one is actually an alternate artwork. Worth noting that, like all of the new Pokemon we got from Gen 9, there are 2 of these in the Scarlet and Violet set, an 80 HP and a 60. This is an alternate art reprint of the one with 60 HP, and I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, it's just poison. You just poison your opponent's active, which isn't terrible, don't get me wrong, but I think it's fair to say it's not particularly great. So fine, we've got a couple of new cards that aren't particularly good, and we've got a couple of reprints that aren't particularly good, but we've also here got ourselves a really interesting Clawf EX, a really interesting new supporter. So you know what? I'm alright with this, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of cool. I don't know how we're going to get these. A lot of these end up as like 1 and 3 pack blister promos later on down the line, or they get popped into sets. One way or another, we will get this. Don't worry your pretty little heads about it. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about these. I want to know what you think about Klawf. I want to know whatever you want to tell me. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord and chat with us about... it doesn't even have to be Pokemon, it can be whatever you like. And you can get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Christopher Kowski, who's been a supporter of ours for a little while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So thank you very much for all the support and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.